Oh, okay, it's on. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Steve Barron. I am the Director of Fiscal Affairs. And today, according to the Home Rule Charter, is the day that we are to release our budget for the public. So without any further ado, I introduce the County Executive, Lamont McClure, to discuss the 2023 budget and capital improvements plan for Northampton County.
For as many years as I can recall, I have been attempting to reverse the tide of the overtaxation of the citizens of Northampton County. For many, many years, this county has been running surpluses in the amount of $50 or $60 million annually, and that was wrong. When I served on county council, I tried to cut the millage rate 5 or 6 times. I forget how many now. I was always unsuccessful because there was something called a gentleman's agreement in place, an agreement between a predecessor of mine and a former county council person that we would always have $60 million extra of your money than we needed to have to function. Last year, when we cut taxes, $1 million, saving our taxpayers over $8.5 million, we began the process of reversing the tide of overtaxation in Northampton County. This budget continues the process of getting us to a place where we have 2 months of general fund balance or surplus, which eventually we will have in the stabilization fund. Currently, that number is about $18 million, and we have just a little over $17 million budgeted in this budget for our stabilization fund, with an additional more than $13 million of extra fund balance. So we're not quite there yet, but we will get there because it's wrong to overtax our citizens. We've had several budgets that have been no tax increase budgets. Of course, we had our tax cut last year. This year, we will not propose a tax increase. For the bulk of the details of the budget, we can understand that this budget in 2023 addresses the needs of our taxpayers, along with the proposed use for the federal government's disbursement of COVID-19 relief funds. This proposed budget will allow the county to maintain, this is important, to maintain services at previous levels, preserve open space, and provide funds for Graysdale, all the while keeping taxes level. As we've noted, our budget will not raise taxes this year. The tax rate will remain 10.8 mils for 2023. The following priorities are presented here to explain our proposed path forward in 2023. We are funding open space and farmland preservation in order to fight warehouse proliferation. Northampton County continues to invest in programs to prevent developers and builders from constructing warehouses and increasing truck traffic through our beautiful county. In 2022, Northampton County continued to set records for preservation and acquisition of future parkland. The plan is simple: preserve open space and farmland and provide no tax breaks for warehouse developers. We are also meeting economic challenges. Our administration in the 2023 proposed budget considers and addresses economic challenges facing the world as the pandemic begins to wane and there is a cautious return to normalcy. The proposed spending levels for 2023 provide adequate funding for core county services, again, without raising taxes. Being a good steward of taxpayer funds is one of our administration's crowning achievements. We will continue on that path and push back against reckless spending. We are also meeting the needs of our county residents. We have over $15 million to date invested in open space. We are upgrading buildings to maintain safety and services for all that come to conduct business in Northampton County. We are continuing to upgrade election equipment for future elections to maintain safe, secure, and accurate elections. Upgrades to our radio infrastructure will ensure response times for emergency management services remain efficient and rapid when lives are on the line. Lowering overall debt service payments by $7.1 million by competent management of the county's long-term debt. This budget also sets aside $17 million in our Emergency Stabilization Fund, which keeps Northampton County fiscally sound and a model of fiscal responsibility. The residents of Northampton County will have all the services they have come to expect from their county government. When we cut taxes, we made this promise. And our 2023 proposed budget continues that promise to the taxpayers of the county while maintaining last year's tax rate. Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Steve, you want to come up? Go ahead, Jeff.
How are you going to deal with the decline in federal funding now that the pandemic is?
Well, so it's not over, right? The pandemic's not over, and we still do have some funds in reserve. I made sure, working with county council, to have about $6 million in reserve from our ARP funding to meet the needs if we have any resurgence of the pandemic. And as a matter of fact, I'll be having some announcements along those lines in the near future. Tony.
It has to pass by the middle of December. County Council's schedule anticipates a passage, I believe, December 1st, based on the schedule I've seen, with the potential for any additional meetings that are necessary with regard to other issues related to tax rates, vetoes, overrides, et cetera. But December 1st is probably going to be the passage date. I believe it's December 20th. Mm-hmm.
Any others?
You mentioned reckless spending.
Yes.
Can I example what you mean by that?
Sure. We've been, throughout my time, and this is, my 5th year as county executive, we've been reducing spending every year. And this year, we're reducing it about $7.1 million. So we're constantly on guard for spending that we see as unnecessary, and we will continue to do that.
Can you give an example?
I don't have any examples I want to give you today, Tony. Just we'll be on guard against reckless spending.
You said that you were updating the election equipment. You guys did have a problem at one point with that. Is this just like a software? Is this physical stuff? Is this a different company than what you guys used in the past?
So same company, right? And we've done some additional things. But when we're talking about upgrading election equipment, and I want to thank you for bringing that up, because since that time in 2017 and 2018 and 2019, we working with council have been able to, through 2020, put on fair, legal, and accurate elections. And actually, we're doing it pretty well as anybody in the state right now. So that's great. But what we're looking is to update our equipment as our vendor gets more sophisticated equipment. And that gets certified by the state. We're going to update that so we can even get results faster.
Would this be for just the actual voting booths? Would this be for the ballot counting, for the mail-ins? What, is there a specific entity?
It really will, our upgrades really will focus on getting our ballots counted as quickly as possible, because the amended law, amended Act 77, requires us to have our results that day.
You also mentioned Greystone. How much are you putting aside for the accounting election department?
The county, what's the number?
Graysdale itself is a standalone budget, so the county in the past would take money that when money was left over. Graysdale has a $15 million fund balance. There is no county contribution towards Graysdale because it is self-sustaining at this point, and they do not anticipate a decrease in their fund balance this year due to the IGT being the intergovernmental transfer, which is a benefit county nursing homes can take part in. We've been able to avoid having a county contribution to Graysdale. However, in this budget, we anticipate it being fully funded, and I believe it's,
What page is that?
hold on. It would be under Human Services, Graysdale Nursing Home, 167.
Because she asked for the total number.
Yeah.
Well, no, we'll give it to you.
No, that's okay. So the Graysdale Nursing Home, the budget total in revenue and expenditures for this year is $103 million, and that includes the capital improvements of $1 million. We anticipate revenue to be $65 million, and the expenditures to be that, the total budget is $103 million.
Obviously, you said you're having, no, tax increases for this year. If you guys, say if you have a giant blizzard or whatever and the county has to spend money on, things of that nature, will there still be enough funds for any anticipation of those emergencies in the county?
So we've had giant blizzards, the financial meltdown in 2008, 2009, which caused the Great Recession, which was the worst economy since the Great Depression, and some people think might have even been worse in terms of the financial markets. We didn't ever get below $50 million in our fund balance except one year. We'll be fine.
What's the overall total budget? Is it the same as last year? Or 500?
No, it's down, actually.
The budget is down about $38 million. Most of that is because of the one-time injections we received from CARES Act and the ARPA funds. No, it is the 2023 budget, the total operating budget is $544 million. We were at, last year, we were at 570.
Anything new, startling, different this year than last year, such as, I don't know, salary hikes, pension costs? You might be missing in this?
No. I mean, so in let's take personnel, because that's what you're asking about, salary. Now, remember, it's not just, compensation is more than just wages. It's, at Northampton County, it's wages, it's healthcare benefits, it's our defined pension benefit, which you can't find anywhere else anymore. It's paid vacation, personal time, sick time. So take 2021, our actual budget, it was $141,671,666. That was for personnel. We are anticipating in 2023 that number to go to $160,379,400. So that's well in excess of even our general fund revenues. Of course, we get reimbursed for many of our human services positions by the Commonwealth for the provision of human services, but that is the largest part of the budget.
I would have to ask this question, I don't know if it's going to be out in the release coming soon or whatever, but what's the average residential taxpayer? It's the same.
It's the same as it was last year. So the average that you used last year will be exactly the same. Yep, same amount.
Anything else? Bernie, you have anything?
No, sorry, I was late.
That's okay. You can see it on YouTube. There. Thank you, everybody. Thanks.